Good morning. In the earlier lecture, we talked about definition of partial differentiation and successive differentiation or order of differentiation. The next article is about total differentiation. Next article of our syllabus, total differentiation. To discuss total differentiation, let us consider a function z is equal to f of x y. Z is a function taken as dependent variable. It is function of two independent variables x and y. So, z is continuous function of variable x, z is continuous function of variable y. Value of z is decided by values of the variables x and y. If x and y changes simultaneously, there will be change in the function z. Let us suppose that delta x and delta y are infinitesimal increments in variables x and y. Let us suppose that delta x and delta y are infinitesimal increments in x and y. As delta x and delta y are increments in x and y, there will be change in the value of z. Let us find this value of z when x incremented by delta x, y incremented by delta y. That is, initial value of the function is z. As x and y increments by delta x and delta y, there will be increment delta z in z. So, change in z will be equal to z plus delta z minus z. This will be further given by final value of this function is f of x plus delta x comma y plus delta y. Initial value f of x y, or delta z is equal to the same equation is written as equation 2. delta z is equal to f of x plus delta x comma y plus delta y minus f of x comma y plus delta y plus f of x comma y plus delta y minus f of x y, equation number 2. Just 1 minute. Now, let us have a look here. This is minus f of x comma y plus delta y. This is plus f of x comma y plus delta y. So, this term, these two are identical terms and they will cancel each other. When this and these two terms cancel each other, we will come to this equation. So, equation 2 and this equation are same. There is no change in these equations. Only manipulation made is this term added, the same term subtracted to write this equation as equation 2. Okay, then let us have a close look in the first square bracket, then in the second square bracket. What we find here? Y plus delta y plus delta y, it is same, constant. X plus delta x. It means that the function f in the first bracket acts as function of x only because y is remaining constant. Let us go to second square bracket. X y plus delta y. It means that the function f in the second square bracket is acting as function of y only because x is constant. Let us keep this thing in mind that in the first square bracket function f is function of x only because y is remaining constant, y plus delta y. In the second square bracket, the function f is acting only as function of y, x is remaining constant. Keeping this thing in mind, let us apply Lagrange's mean value theorem to first square bracket and to second square bracket. Let us apply Lagrange's mean value theorem to first square bracket and second square bracket. Keeping in mind, in first square bracket f is function of x only, in second square bracket f is function of y only, and therefore after applying Lagrange's mean value theorem to first bracket, we will get delta x f x there is no need to write this y plus delta y because it is constant. When we apply Lagrange's mean value theorem to first square bracket, it can be simply written as delta x into fx of x plus theta 1 delta x plus delta y fy of y plus theta 2 delta y. Let it be equation number 3. Then consider this term. Let me include y here, this as it is, and x here as it is. Now, let us consider this bracket as limit delta x delta y tends to 0, fx of x plus theta 1 delta x comma y plus delta y will be simply fx of x comma y, equation number 4. Similarly, i's limit delta x delta y tends to 0, this term fy y plus x comma y plus theta 2 delta y will be equal to fy of xy, equation number 5. And therefore, equation 4 with the help of equation 3 with the help of equations 4 and 5 can be written as delta z is equal to delta x fx of x comma y plus sigma 1 plus delta y fy of xy plus sigma 2, equation number 6. We can have this as delta x delta y tends to 0. We can have this bracket as this at delta x delta y tend to 0 because theta 1 and theta 2 are very small, 0 less than theta 1 less than 1, and here 0 less than theta 2 less than 1. As this is value of theta here, this is range for value of theta 2 here. As limit delta x delta y tends to 0, this can simply be written as fx of xy, and this can be simply written as fy of xy. And so, using equations 4 and 5, equation 3 can be written as delta z is equal to delta x into in the square bracket fx of x comma y plus sigma 1 plus delta y into in the square bracket fy of x comma y plus sigma 2, where this sigma 1 and sigma 2 tends to 0 as delta x delta y tends to 0. If we suppress the point xy, let us make it general by suppressing point xy and point xy. After suppressing point xy, equation 6 can further be written as delta z is equal to delta x into fx plus sigma 1 plus delta y into fy comma sigma 2. After suppressing the point xy, that is x comma y and x comma y, this is further delta z is equal to delta x fx plus delta x sigma 1 plus delta y fy plus delta y sigma 2. This is for the fx delta x plus fy delta y plus delta x sigma 1 plus delta y sigma 2, or delta z is equal to, you know, fx it is dou f by dou x delta x plus, you know, fy it is dou f by dou y delta y plus delta x sigma 1 plus delta y sigma 2. Equation number 7. Equation 7 is known as total differentiation of the function z is equal to f of xy, and therefore this delta z may be represented as dz. When we consider equation 7 as total differentiation of the function z is equal to f of xy, this delta z may be written as dz, and that will be dou f by dou x into delta x plus dou f by dou y into delta y plus delta x sigma 1 plus delta y sigma 2. Equation number 8. We got this equation according to equations 4 and 5. Putting equations 4 and 5 in equation 3, we got this equation where this sigma 1 and sigma 2 both tends to 0 when delta x delta y tends to 0. Suppressing point xy, this point xy, making fy and fx general. Equation 6 may further be written as this: delta z is equal to delta x into in the bracket fx plus sigma 1 plus delta y into in the bracket fy plus sigma 2. Solving this, we get this. Okay, rearranging, you know, value of fx dou f by dou x, value of fy dou f by dou y. Putting value of fx and fy, the same equation is further written as equation number 7. Equation number 7 is the total differentiation of the function z is equal to f of xy. When we talk of equation 7 as total differentiation of the function z is equal to f of xy, this delta z may be written as dz, and therefore total differentiation of the function z is equal to f of xy is simply given by this equation, equation number 8. Let us try to simplify equation 8 further. Let us substitute z is equal to x, rewrite this equation. So it will be dx dz will be equal to dx if we have z is equal to x. This will become dou x by dou x is equal to 1. This will become dou x by dou y is equal to 0. This is because x and y are independent variables. Y is independent of x, and therefore we cannot differentiate x with respect to y. So dou x by dou y here will become 0, and rest of the thing will same. And what we have here is, as delta x delta y tending to 0, this will become 0, this will become 0, and here we simply got dz is equal to x when we put z is equal to x. Similarly, when you put z is equal to y, we will have dz is equal to dy, and this one dou y by dou x is equal to 0. This term will become 0. This one dou y by dou y is equal to 1 into delta y. Okay. So, this dx, as 1 is here, this going to 0, you will simply have here dx is equal to delta x, and therefore dz is equal to dx, and in this case it is going to become 0, it is 1. Okay. So, dy is equal to delta y. When we put z is equal to x, dz will be equal to dx. So, this will become 1 into delta x, dx will be equal to delta x. This will become 0. So, this term will become 0. These are negligibly small. When we put z is equal to y, dz will be equal to dy. This will become 0 here. It will become 1 here. 1 into delta y. So, dy will be delta y. The remaining two terms are negligibly small. And therefore, with this, equation 8 may further be written as dz is equal to dou f by dou x into dx plus dou f by dou y into dy plus delta x sigma 1 plus delta y sigma 2, equation number 9, and this is further dz is equal to dou f by dou x into dx plus dou f by dou y into dy, equation number 10. Since as delta x delta y tends to 0, delta x sigma 1 plus delta y sigma 2 will also tend to 0, and therefore the expression for total differentiation of a function z is equal to f of x y is simply dz is equal to dou f by dou x into dx plus dou f by dou y into dy, equation number 10. This is the expression for total differentiation of a function z is equal to f of x y. Equation 10 is the estimated total differentiation of the function z is equal to f of x y. It is not the true value of total differentiation. Let us see what error is going to occur if we use this estimation of total differentiation for the function z is equal to f of x y. For this, let us consider a rectangle here. Let us suppose that this is the rectangle. X, y, z is equal to f of x y. Here what is z? Area A of this rectangle, that is equal to x into y, equation number 11. To understand what error will be introduced if we use this estimated value of total differentiation for the function z is equal to f of x y. To have this idea, let us consider a rectangle of these sides x, these sides y. Z, this is just similar to z is equal to f of x y. Z dependent variable, x and y independent variable. A just similar to z, area of this rectangle, x and y the independent variables, x into y will give area A of this rectangle. So, this function is just similar to this function. Let it be equation number 1. Then let us make increment in x, increment in y. This increment is delta x, this increment is delta y. After making this increment, let us complete the rectangle. X is increment, delta x is increment in x, delta y is increment in y. Let us complete the rectangle. What will be this value? Y into delta x. So, let me write this as y into delta x. What is this value? Delta y into x, delta y into x, or x into delta y, x into delta y. What is this value? Delta x, delta y. Okay, let us apply this estimated formula. Now, what will be delta A? True change in or actual change in the value of area of the rectangle. This is given by A plus delta A minus A. This is equal to, what is A plus delta A? xy plus x delta y plus y delta x plus delta x delta y. So, this value is nothing but this, that is xy minus xy. A plus delta A. A is this xy. Now, delta A is x delta y plus y delta x plus delta x delta y. This A is simply xy. So, this minus xy plus xy get cancelled, and the actual value of delta A will be x delta y plus y delta x plus delta x delta y. Equation number 12. Now, if we apply this estimation, if we apply this approximated formula, dA will be equal to x delta y plus y delta x, equation number 13. This is the approximated formula for the total differentiation. This is the actual formula for the total differentiation. Approximated formula for the total change, it is the actual formula for the total change, and therefore the error in the approximation, the error in the estimated result will be delta A minus dA. This is x delta y plus y delta x plus delta x delta y minus x delta y minus y delta x. This get cancelled with this get cancelled with this, and the error occurring is this much, delta x delta y. You can see the error here. This is what? Delta x into delta y. Okay. So, error in the estimated equation for total differentiation comes out to be delta x into delta y, and if we see it here, this error is very small. If delta x and delta y are infinitesimal increments, infinitesimal changes, infinitesimal very small changes. If delta x and delta y are very small changes, then this delta x into delta y, the error occurring in the total differentiation due to this approximation will be very small, and therefore practically whenever we go for total differentiation, we can use this formula because the error occurring is very small. This is about total differentiation. Hope you got it. Thank you.